You're listening to Eritrean Society podcast, Inspire and Motivate. I am your host, we're back. And now, we have a very special guest, a physician, practicing doctor, writer. She has a book out now called Pre-Med Survival Guide. She is a humanitarian and a motivational speaker. It's very important for us to continue to inspire and motivate, and this interview is a great way of producing that. Our guest is Dr. Manna, and this is Inspire and Motivate. We had a series of questions, and our first question is, who is Dr. Manna?
That's a great question. That's the kind of question that is asked of medical school applicants, actually. It's like, why medicine? Broad question. I'll say briefly that I am a proud Eritrean American woman. I am an immigrant, a first-generation physician, and I'm also a physician entrepreneur who has a new book out called the Pre-Med Survival Guide, How to Get Your Mindset Right.
Your IG handle is MotivationMD 101. What's the story behind that, and what motivates you?
I love that. So I created that handle when I was in residency. So when I was completing my training in anesthesiology in Southern California. And I chose that because motivation, being able to get myself motivated, maintain my motivation, and look for those internal markers of motivation is something that really helped to sustain me throughout my medical education and training. So when I created the Instagram handle, MotivationMD, I thought, okay, what can I use as a name that's going to best reflect, one of the tenets or foundations of part of my life story and what I want to do with this page, which is to really motivate and inspire, which is definitely in line with with your podcast.
What motivated you to become a doctor?
So the funny story is, as a kid, I always knew I had an interest in the natural sciences. So I was interested in geology, astronomy, anything natural science. I just thought it was super fun and interesting. And I had the good fortune of going to an elementary school that was very well resourced, and we had science discovery days. So we had presentations from different professionals across various fields. And one of those days, I got to see a little bit into medicine. I saw my first human brain, and we were learning a little bit about the human brain, et cetera. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so intense. This is so cool. Like, you and I walking around, we are just one of the most amazing creations ever. When we are healthy and all the systems are working right, it's already like the eighth wonder of the world. And if a system or multiple systems isn't working for some reason, either because of a genetic issue or environmental issue, socioeconomic, et cetera, and that process of trying to heal a person and the body or the system to a better place of functioning, I thought that was so exciting because it felt like there was an opportunity for me to still contribute. I could still discover something new potentially and learn. And I thought that was really exciting. So I decided, okay, I don't have to go deep into the ocean to find something cool. You and me walking around, we're already the coolest.
And how old was you then? What time frame was this?
So we were having the science discovery days each year. So this was around third, fourth grade. And that's when I decided I want to be a doctor. And of course, my parents were like, yes.
I was just going to ask you that.
So many Eritreans and Africans, they want their children to be doctors and engineers, professors, etc. And I was lucky because I came to that interest on my own. I didn't feel forced to do something I didn't want to do. And then as I continued to mature, I realized, okay, I do actually have this interest, and I'm informed by these things that I'm seeing, these experiences that I'm having. And this will allow me to develop a platform where I can impact more people, educate more people, motivate them, etc. And I'm just very blessed and fortunate to have been able to finish and I guess, realize that objective.
So knowing what you wanted to do gave you the motivation to actually go get it. And now you're a doctor. Now you're self-actualized. How has being a doctor impacted your life?
That's an incredible question. So learning and practicing and getting to the point, completing residency in anesthesiology, which is one subspecialty of medicine amongst so many others, I really had the benefit of learning from incredible people who have had so many amazing life experiences and are very experienced in anesthesia. And even more than that, I got to meet doctors from different kinds of ethnicities, and different specialists who I got to learn from because I needed them. I have a certain patient there was a time where I was in the ICU, the intensive care unit. So critically ill patients will go to the ICU, and there's a lot involved in caring for patients who are very sick. And one of those revolving pieces is medications, prescribing the right medication, the right dose at the right frequency, etc. Well, I am not at that point. I wasn't an expert in all kinds of medications. So I relied heavily on the pharmacist. I would always call them, whether it was like 11 p.m., 3 in the morning, like, hey, Dr. So-and-so, I know it's late. I'm sorry, but I just want to make sure this, is that I read that there's this potential, contraindication with this medication. Will I be okay considering these are the other medications the patient's on, et cetera? And having that opportunity to really collaborate with great people who were good at what they did empowered me, because I wouldn't have been able to do my own job if I couldn't depend on other people who knew their job very well. And those types of experiences only built upon each other in residency in medical school. And I would say that being a physician impacted my life because I had the good fortune to be witness to very extreme situations that humanity essentially finds itself in. So meaning, I had situations where I would see a young person in their 20s who was in a bad car accident, right? And they, it was a polytrauma. There's multiple things that their body was impacted negative way. And seeing, how fleeting life can be and how much of a gift it is for us to be able to do whatever it is that we do, because we just don't know what's going to happen next. And, other situations where I had the opportunity to, again, witness and have the trust, which is very special, of people who became patients in their most vulnerable periods of their life. And having their trust to know what was going on, to share that information with their family members if appropriate, being able to be a part of their care team, provide their anesthetic, etc., was, it's an incredible opportunity that, you might not just get in another field. So being able to witness the very best of humanity, let's say the birth of a newborn, when two people have been trying for the longest to have a baby, and then finally, after so many years of treatments, they're able to have their first child who's healthy, being able to witness that, which is incredible, in so many other situations. So it has always been a constant learning experience. And we have this phrase in medicine, right, that to be a doctor means that you are a lifetime learner. And it's true. Being a physician means that you're constantly learning. You're learning from patients, nurses, pharmacists, other doctors, respiratory technicians, x-ray techs, everybody. You're learning from everybody all the time. So that's one of the most impactful ways that medicine has affected me.
I don't need a coach. I don't need advice.
Okay, all right, good talk, coach. Thanks.